America, the greatest country in the world. It wasn't always this way. Initially, it was just 13 colonies under British rule who became independent, and all the lands that were west of the Mississippi River, excluding Florida. America also, over time, it grew and became more powerful. James Monroe's doctrine in the early 1800s, which he stated that America would not intervene in European affairs, did not last forever. And later, when William McKinley went to war with Spain and America got land from America took Cuba, then this foreign policy doctrine ceased to exist. Manifest Destiny also played a huge part in America's growth, considering the fact that the whole idea of Manifest Destiny was that America had a God-given right to expand westward. This idea caused America to go from this to this. As you can see, America grew territory within a span of 40 years and almost tripled the amount of land it had. The reason why America grew so quickly and became the most powerful nation in the world is due to American military success, as well as America's strong economy, diplomatic relations, as well as a good geography. Right now, I will be discussing how America rose to power with my friends, Mr. J and Mr. P.
Hello, I'm Mr. P. I'm with Mr. U.S. History here to talk about America, the greatest country in the world. And I was here in previous videos.
Hi there, I'm Mr. J, and I'm also here with Mr. U.S. History to talk about why the U.S. is strong. So I mainly, my expertise is actually in the European history, so I don't really know a lot about American history, because I'm just trying something new here to stuff on my campus.
Alright, so as we know, America initially started off with very little territory, but over time, its territory grew. As I explained earlier, this was largely due to Manifest Destiny. However, throughout much of American history, many Americans considered themselves to be citizens of their states, such as, for example, New Yorkers considered themselves to be New Yorkers rather than Americans, and Virginians considered themselves to be Virginians instead of Americans. In simplified terms, they basically had more loyalty to their state than their country. This changed, however, with the American Civil War, and the Civil War caused a new sense of American nationalism, and more Americans felt pride towards their country than their state. The American Civil War also resulted in the abolition of slavery, which greatly improved America's standing with foreign countries, considering the fact that many European countries had outlawed the practice of slavery and were severely against slavery, and when slavery was abolished, America's standing with foreign countries improved. America's expansion also greatly helped it as a country, and this was largely because of the economy.
Yep, I should take over from Mr. U.S. History, talk about the economy. So basically, let's start off with the immigrants. A lot of immigrants have come from many other countries. A lot of immigrants came to the north because of the massive industry there and a lot of work. And also a lot of immigrants came to the west, like California, because of the gold rush there. So that greatly boosted the economy because more people equal more money, So then, America was getting a lot of money from war profiteering from wars. Like in World War I, they sold a bunch of equipment to the Entente powers, and even sold some maybe to the Central Powers sometimes. But they were basically just war profiteering. They made a lot of money. That's basically
From all these factors, and including their
part of the economy.
they gained a huge economic boom throughout like the previous centuries, and gained the largest economy out of any nation in the world, basically.
America's geography is also a major reason why it was able to become a world power.
Hi, so I'm Mr. J, so I will be explaining the part about geography. So, geography was one of the United States' major assets in growing to become a world superpower. So, one reason for that because is that it's located away from very strong countries, and so mostly Europe and Asia. So more aggressive countries there. So those are very dangerous countries, or more weak and developing countries such as America. So they're all like halfway across the world from the U.S. So they didn't really pose much of a threat, like war rise to the U.S. Next, we have its internal terrain. So first of all, its topography is also very good because it has a lot of varied climate and terrain. So this allows it to have very good terrain for warfare and for the development of its nation itself. So it's very abundant in natural resources because of that, and because because it has so many different terrains and climates. That means that it can have many more profitable industries like skiing and tourism. So that helps it a lot as well. Next, it has very large rivers like the Hudson and Mississippi River. So during its early days, when agriculture was America's main economy, this allowed it to heavily develop its agrarian state, and also it helped to boost its economic stability, which is very important in the early days, especially since the economy was still growing and lacking, and the government still needed funds from the people a lot. So these rivers overall were still very important, especially in trading, because as the Mississippi River stretches all the way across the U.S., that means that it'll be very useful for trading with other states as well. Yep, so next we have just like the fertile soil in the US, and because it's extremely large. So this allows it to have a lot of people not only, also it has a lot of suitable land for infrastructure and development as civilizations and stuff. So this is also why there's many cities there, like large infrastructural cities, so that helps. So its position in land also helped with that a lot, since its climate is also very temperate and mild. Not really that much temperate, like in the northern regions, like near Canada, like it's super cold there, but like most of the regions where the economy is prosperous, so most of the time, so the weather is like not really harsh there, so that also helps a lot, because the early settlers then were able to survive the winters and stuff there.
The American Constitution is also a major reason why America was able to sustain as a nation, because the American Constitution is probably one of the best constitutions in the entire country, because it's able to effectively separate the government into three branches, and it's also able to control both the states and the federal government, and it's really good at evenly dividing power. And overall, the Constitution of the United States is a major reason why America is very stable as a country and why it hasn't collapsed.
Yeah, so basically, as you know, one major reason for the death of a country is called internal decay. This is basically where the internal conflicts and crises of the country make it it collapses internally, like France, basically, like the French Revolution, where all the higher up people were all killed by the presidents and stuff. So, because of the way its constitution is structured, this makes sure that nobody gets too much power, and that it can also be changed during desperate times through the use of an amendment. So this actually helps control the people based on what situation the country is in. This makes it very stable, and this makes it that the country is not very prone to internal conflicts or decay.
And America's military is also a major reason why it has the power that it has.
Hello, I'm going to take over for the military section of this video. So basically, the current military spending is extremely high, like really, really high. It's like $8 billion per year, and it's the largest military budget in the world. It has 10 times the military budget than Russia, which is also another global superpower. America also has their 6 branches to be extremely powerful, such as the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, Special Forces, and the Space or something. Yeah, like something like that. Also, the United States wasn't ravaged like many of the European and Asian countries during World War II and World War I. Like, for example, China and Russia had millions of people dead by the end of the world wars. However, the U.S. didn't have that many, and they weren't economically ravaged, and they didn't have that much devastation after the war. During the Cold War, the U.S. and the Russians were at an arms race, and that both led them to have a research boost. They kept trying to one up each other, and that led to multiple research finds, the many new Air Force, many new planes and many new missiles, and technology was formed from this, and that led America to gain a lot of technological advancements against other countries.
American diplomacy is also, so in summary, American diplomacy, American economy, American geography, as well as the American military are all major reasons why America is the world superpower that it is today. Thank you all for watching this video. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel.